I'm making a difference. I'm experiencing how life works.
I'm learning new things.
I'm taking on the world.
I'm helping other people.
I'm ready for college.
I'm having so much fun.
I'm making the world a better place. I'm ready for life. I'm setting the example. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm a rainbow girl.
I'm a rainbow girl.
I'm a rainbow girl.
I'm a rainbow girl. I'm a rainbow girl.
I'm a rainbow girl. I know. It sounds a little silly, but in the next few minutes, I will be explaining exactly what that is and the culture behind the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls. Let's start off with the basics. The International Order of the Rainbow for Girls, or IORG, is a Masonic youth leadership group for girls ages 11 through 20 and was founded by Reverend W. Mark Sexton in 1922. Originally, it was just a girls group for girls who were daughters of Masons, but today it accepts girls of all backgrounds. The only requirements to be a rainbow girl is to be a good moral character and have a belief in a supreme being, which are requirements of all Masonic affiliated groups. After a girl expresses her interest in joining, she then goes through an interview process, is voted on to receive the degrees of the order by a local chapter's members, and then receives her initiation. In this way, it is similar to a sorority. Rainbow girls have an interesting way of dressing. At formal events such as initiations, meetings, and the annual state convention, girls are required to wear long dresses. At more informal events, such as dinner servings or fundraising projects, girls wear white flats, khaki pants or jeans, and the state IORG red shirt. In addition, for state officers, they are required to put their hair up in a hairpiece, which I have worn for you today. Rainbow girls also have a specific way of public speaking, from reciting ritual work at close meetings and giving flag tributes and speeches at public events. Girls develop a unique way of speaking. Girls are also required to completely memorize all of their public speaking work. As such, the speech I'm giving for you today is both 100% memorized and given in the way a rainbow girl would recite it. There are many valuable lessons that a rainbow girl is taught, but two of the main ones are love and service. Love is shown in the way how girls treat one another. Each girl considers all members of the organization as one of her sisters and learns to appreciate them for her own individuality and charisma. The other value service is shown in two ways. First, service to others, such as being kind to one another or volunteering. The second way it is shown is service to charity. Each year, the California State President chooses a nonprofit in which all chapters of the state will spend the year raising money for. The California jurisdiction raises approximately $70,000 a year for a nonprofit. I know this group may seem a bit odd, and I know IORG is not a well-known organization, but in the 4 years I have been affiliated with it, I have come to realize it brings fun memories, life-lasting friendships, and leadership skills, and I thank you for letting me share that culture with you today.
I am Amy Randall, Grand Worthy Advisor of Massachusetts Rainbow International Order of Rainbow for Girls.
And we are the 2013-2014 Grand Officers. We want you to know that Rainbow gets girls ready for life.
All right, thank you. Good morning to you. Rainbow for Girls is a community service and leadership youth group.
The goal is to help girls develop confidence, leadership. Seems to be working with that group.
Most people recognize us by being in the parades, where we are the pretty girls in long formals with the tiaras on our heads and even the nice pretty cars. But most people really don't know what we actually do as an organization. And you're probably asking, well, really, what is Rainbow? Is it good for my daughter? Will it be fun? How can I get involved? What can you learn from this organization? Well, we should probably start from the beginning. There are many ways to get involved. Family is a good place to start. And if you know somebody that is in the Masonic family, like, say for instance, a Rainbow Girl, a Mason, an Eastern Star, a Malay, or even a Job's Daughters, they can pretty much help you out in getting involved. But friends are good too. They can help integrate you. And, well, if you don't have anyone, then there are even websites. If you want to get involved and don't know how to contact the assemblies, you can go to gorainbow.com, which will connect you to the state assemblies and then individual assemblies near you. Most girls get involved to Rainbow when they're 11 years old, but sometimes even younger and sometimes much older. When you are finally initiated into our assembly, you become not only part of the Rainbow Girls, you become part of a community. A sisterhood that will help you every step until you turn 21, but even after, you can still be involved. Our adults in our organization are our greatest source of help. They can help you through anything and even make you laugh. They treat you as if you were their own daughter, and because of that, parents can actually also get involved.
This is the end of the beginning. Welcome to today's show. Today I want to cover the Rainbow Girls. The International Order of the Rainbow for Girls is the official name for it, IORG, which is a Masonic order used to recruit young girls at a young age to prepare them to become witches of the Eastern Star. Because these are organizations that are in your towns, our towns, my town, your town, every town across America and around the world. These secret societies have Masonic lodges existing in our towns, worshiping Lucifer, and recruiting other people to join their quote-unquote club. And then, of course, as they always do, they prey on what? They prey on the children. And this is how they indoctrinate kids at a young age to prepare them to become Eastern Star witches. Now, you could see the logo, pretty obvious right there. You could see the pyramid. And, of course, you could see the Masonic handshake right underneath it. It's a Masonic youth service organization. And they claim that they teach leadership training through community service. Girls ages 11 through 20 to 21 learn about the value of charity and service through their work and involvement with their annual, local, and grand service projects. They also have a group for younger girls 5 to 10, which is the pledge group. So they start with them at 5 to 10, indoctrinate them, get them into this pledge group, start brainwashing them. Then they move to the Order of the Rainbow for Girls around the age of 11. And then at that point, they're in there until about they're 20 years old, 21 years old. And then they get initiated into the Eastern Star. And that's how they keep this cycle going, this cycle of control, this cycle of manipulation. This is technically child abuse because these are children who are relying on their parents, whether their parents are Masons or members of the Eastern Star, and they're abusing them by putting them into these cults and allowing them to be brainwashed with this doctrine. Now, it's not always a parent that'll put them in. There's stories and there's situations where a girl will have a friend who is in it because their parents put them in it, and she'll say, hey, do you want to join? At 11 years old, and the girl will say, all right, it sounds like fun. The girl won't tell her what it's really about, what's really going on, because remember, they're sworn to secrecy. And then she now becomes a member, and then she passes it on. It's a vicious cycle. And who knows what kind of abuse runs rampant in some of these pledge groups and these Rainbow Girl groups. Who knows? Because these stories will never come out. Are you kidding me? When's the last time you heard a story about Freemasons involved in murder or involved in any type of corruption? Never. You'll never hear about it because this is a secret organization that's protected. Now, they're bottom feeders compared to the Jesuits, the Zionists, and all the people at the top. They're bottom feeders, but they're fully protected because most of these people who are at the top have gone through the Masonic order at one point in their life, and they follow the same types of rituals and the same beliefs, which is a worship of Lucifer. So they're fully protected. So you're not going to hear stories about abuse. You could see photos of what goes on. I mean, look at this mind control. You know, they got the girls dressed up like princesses, right? Look at them all. And they have them color coordinated. You know, based on a color, you're a different officer and all this weird, stuff which isn't really relevant to know. But look how they have them all dressed up like this. And this is just a way to manipulate little girls, right? Young women. Dress them up as a princess, teach them all this stuff, have a good time. It looks like a tea party, for crying out loud. Looks like a scene out of a movie, out of a ball. And that's how they seduce them. They get them into these organizations, make them feel like princesses and all this stuff. Tell them that they're Bible believer. Well, they believe in God. And then like this story I was reading from somebody who came out and left, who was a rainbow girl, who was to be initiated into the Eastern Star, talks about how she realized that they weren't speaking of the God of the Bible, and she became saved and found Jesus Christ. Thank God for that. But she talks about how it's nothing but deception that's going on in there. It's like oil and water, she says. They don't mix. They are not the same. They are not compatible. The God of Masonry is not the God of the Bible. But remember, they'll pretend like they are. Now, this organization was set up, and this is just more subliminal mind control and how they get away with it, right? The order came into existence in 1922 when Reverend Mark Sexton, a Freemason, was asked to make an address before a chapter of the Eastern Star. And this, I guess, gave him the idea to start that it would be beneficial for young girls to learn this at an earlier age. See, they put the word reverend in front, so people think, oh, he's some Christian guy, some evangelist who, started this order, so it can't be satanic because it's some guy who's a Christian. And you go on their website. It's pretty funny, actually. They have, all these sites have these questions, frequently asked questions. It's all a deflection method of mind control. That's why they have it there, okay? So if you hear this stuff, right? So say you watch my video. And say I didn't mention the frequently asked questions, just I continue to talk about all the stuff that they do, right? And you said, oh man, I don't know, that sounds kind of crazy. I have a cousin who is in that. They'll look it up themselves. They'll go to the website, the Masonic website, or this website for the Rainbow Girls, and they'll see frequently asked questions. And right there it'll say, is Rainbow a cult? And it just goes, no, with an exclamation point. And people will see that and they'll go, oh, okay, look, they've already answered this. They've already debunked this notion that they're cult. That's not what they're doing. They're deflecting. They're telling you who they are, and they're using mind control methods to deflect off of it because people are dumb and they'll just take this answer and they'll believe it. This is the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls is a youth service organization for young women. It is associated with the Masonic fraternity, but it is not required to be related to a Mason or Eastern Star member in order to join. Although members are required to uphold the belief in a supreme being, girls are encouraged to participate actively in the house of worship of their choice. And then when it goes on to talk about the cult, it should say yes with an exclamation point, but it says the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls is a youth service organization for young women, much like Girl Scouts. Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit different than Girl Scouts. Okay, these people aren't, walking around selling cookies outside the grocery store here. They're being indoctrinated with a belief system and worshiping Lucifer and that they're their own gods. This is more like child abuse. Rainbow girls wear a uniform for formal function. Girls are required to wear white or colored gowns. For the casual functions, girls are required to wear khaki shirts with a white shirt with no writing and a blue blazer or a nice dress. They have these bizarre clothing, this etiquette of clothing. I mean, we see the Masonic men. They got grown men wearing bibs. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to say it. How embarrassing is that? Guy's wearing bibs and white gloves. Looks like he's about to dust. Looks like a butler. Walking around acting like he knows the secrets of the world. Yeah, the secret's out, boys. The secret's out. God's revealing all of this stuff to everyone. And people are going to become livid the more they find out about what you people really do in secret, because nothing good is done in secrecy. It goes on to say, what is the ritual? Our ritual is the book of ceremonies based on lessons of right living and thinking. You see, they could just say stuff like that and people just go, oh, I don't know what that means, but okay. Because they're not going to go, our rituals are satanic based off of many, many, many different satanic teachings from cults, from, ancient Egypt, from Aleister Crowley. No, they just go, it's based on lessons of right living and thinking. And people go, oh, okay. Huh? What does that mean? What does it mean, lessons of right living and thinking? Huh? Anyone want to explain that? It's just them deflecting the best that they can or trying to. And of course, inside these orders, they have all of these positions, drill leader, chaplain, treasurer. I mean, these people need to get a life, really. The mother advisor is the primary adult who works with the girls. They have high honors. They have supreme assembly. So they have all these organizations within it. And of course, remember, that's kind of how all these secret societies, like even false religions like Scientology work, is that it's like a system where you achieve things, right? So you start at the bottom, but if you do this, you do this, you do this, oh, you could become this, and you could become that, and you could achieve this part, or you could become a member of this other society within the society, and you could have this title or this name, and here's a brownie for you, And people love this stuff. This is how they manipulate people to kind of keep going, to keep digging deeper, to keep, learning about, what the Masons want you to learn, which is about worshiping Lucifer ultimately. And they reward you along the way. So it's just a mind control method they use. But this, to me, and I'm sure you all would agree, is child abuse. This should not be allowed. So if you see Rainbow for Girls or whatever, or the Pledge in your town, because listen, they'll come out of the woodwork when they have these stupid little parades. Some towns have parades. I'm sure a lot of you guys live in towns where there's parades for something once in a while, or they'll have something where, outdoors for everyone in the town to get together. They'll pop out for that. Okay, the Masons will pop out. They'll have their dish, looking for money and trying to quietly recruit people, acting like they're just normal guys who are here to help the community. So will the Eastern Star, and so will this organization, because they'll have a table set up with them to recruit young girls. They should be approached. People should be going to their townships and having this program removed. Because people don't even know what they're being taught. They're just going, oh, they're having a nice organization for kids. This is child abuse. This is mind control. Getting a 5-year-old to worship Lucifer, to follow Pike's teachings. It's extremely dangerous and it ruins lives because these people become manipulated. They believe, once you're indoctrinated at that type of an age, at 5 to 10 to 15 years old, it's hard to escape. Okay, that's why we always talk about, me, you guys in the chats, and when I do live shows, about how hard it is to break other people's brainwashing, right? Because they're so indoctrinated with this system. They believe in it so much because it's been beaten in their head at such a young age. That's why we go to school at such a young age and for so long and learn nothing of importance, just nonsense and lies. They beat the lies in your head until you believe that the lies are true. So they're doing this to these children. And, if I see these people out doing this kind of stuff, if I see, the Rainbow Girls in my town, I'm flipping the table over. Okay? I'm flipping the table over. I'm telling them to stay the hell away from our children. Because they target kids. This is what all of these Satanists and occultists do. They target kids. They don't have souls. They're soulless. They know how important children are to our Father. And they want to corrupt them. They know to gain control, to continue to gain control, they have to get children. Not just for ritual sacrifice and their disgusting pedophilia, but also for the mind control. And they have to build their army of children who grow up to be adults who are Masons or Eastern Star witches. And then they want them to do it to their own kids. So we have an entire society of these people living like this. They need to be called out. They need to be exposed. So I'm not saying that you should do that. If you see them in your town, you certainly should confront them and say that they need to stay away from, our children. Ask them about Pike's teachings. They'll deny it, but they'll get red in the face because they think we're all stupid. They think everything's still a big secret. A lot of them are older guys who are just clueless. They don't even know how to turn a computer on, so they don't think anybody has the knowledge to learn about what they're teaching inside their temples. But we do have that knowledge. We do know what they're doing. So, again, if I see this in my town, I'm going to flip the table over. It's one thing for these people to do what they do already. It's disgusting and disgraceful and embarrassing, walking around with their little bibs on. But to target children, young girls and indoctrinate them so they can become members of the Eastern Star. It's unacceptable. And to me, it's abuse. So I hope this information was useful for you. A lot of people don't know about the Order of the Rainbow for Girls. There's many orders within the order. And remember, I said also there's the pledge group. Okay? The pledge group, which is girls 5 to 10 years old, which is absolutely disgusting. So gaining knowledge on this stuff is important so you know what's going on around you. You know, there's children who never get to learn God's word because they're taken at such a young age, and they're thinking that they're learning from the Bible and they're learning about God because, you know, they're using the word God, right? They're not teaching about Jesus Christ. These Masons are, you know, they're teaching them about Lucifer, calling Lucifer God. And Satanists read the Bible backwards. They look at the Bible and they read it as if God, our Father in heaven, is the wicked one and the evil one. And they'll preach that kind of stuff. Oh, he flooded the world. Oh, this, oh, that. And they brainwash these children. And by the time they're 20 years old, they fully believe in this crap. And they turn their back on Jesus Christ without ever getting to know him and know his word. And they never get to realize that they're being lied to by these awful, disgusting human beings who are members of these secret societies. So keep these people in your prayers, these children. I thank you guys for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.